Hello and welcome back to the Rusty Ferret podcast. As always, it's so good to have you here. And I want to do a specific shout out to Rebecca Bexington. They really enjoy my hellos, so this one goes out to you, Rebecca. Hello, love you. First of all, I apologise if there's any echo in here, and for my background. My friend Morag came up and helped me decorate my living room at the weekend, so everything's still a bit higgledy-piggledy, not back on the walls, so echo. But yeah, it's good to be back in my normal spot. I feel a little bit more comfortable, which is weird because I was literally only sitting at the other side of my living room, but not important. So, shall we kick off what we've been up to? Why not? Finished objects. I don't think I showed these in the podcast because I lost one of them, and Morag found them when we were moving furniture, but I haven't woven in the ends. But these are my Vincent gloves. Now I'm thinking about it, maybe I did. Let's go with I did, and I'll just do a quick recap. Vincent gloves in Fab Funky Fibres Trolls World Tour. As I said, it's the Vincent glove pattern, and they were by Cowl and Owl. All the links are down below. I provide a Ravelry link and an off Ravelry link if it is available, and I always make sure that those links are clear which ones are which, so that you're not going to be clicking on links that are dangerous, because I don't want you hurting your brains and things. So excellent gloves. It's just coming into spring, so these are probably not going to be needed anytime soon, but I'm glad they're finished. Well, minus their creepy tendrils. Hang on. See, I have a feeling I did this in the last podcast. They're a really good fit. I should say that. I did the large size, because I got big hands. Well, not too big, but big enough. Maybe I didn't say that the last time. I did recast off this hand that I had done, or this hand, I can't remember which one, this one, and recasting it off and doing a stretchy cast off has made the world of difference. I do actually like to wear them now. My fingers don't feel like they're being throttled, which is always nice. So can we officially call these done, minus the strings? Can we stop talking about them? Probably. If you want some cabled gloves, highly recommend. Jazz hands. Wait. So that's kind of my only finished object for this fortnight. I decided that what I was going to work on just now is unpicking my quilt. Do we remember the quilt? I've just dropped all the bits. Oh God. Oh no, I really have dropped all the bits. So I put this quilt together, God, I want to say a year ago. And it was too small. I wanted it to be a double bed size, and I don't even think it was a single. And to make it big enough, I gave myself a really tiny seam allowance. Like, I'm not sure if this is going to show up on the camera. I mean, this one's kind of like quite good, but can you see that seam allowance? It's not enough. Therefore, I've ended up with holes. I just had one a minute ago here where the fabric has like frayed and come apart. Like, there wasn't enough to keep it. So I'm picking it apart. Whoa, I hit the thing. I'm gonna put it over my shoulder so you can look at it. So I've been slowly snipping it apart. I have been using my electric razor thing, which is over there. I can't grab it right now. 10 out of 10 would recommend. You just need to be careful that you're not gonna cut your fabric, would be my thing. So I like to kind of snip out, like, you know, when you backwards and forwards, like you lock your stitches in. I snip those with scissors and then take my electric razor. So quick. But because I've been doing this project while we've been watching the TV, I've actually just been sat using my little embroidery scissors. It's quite a mindful activity to just snip, 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 snip. So to start with, in my little grey girl bag, I was taking off a hexie and then fully dismantling it and then, pardon me, safety pinning them together. However, there was places I was going and it's not very portable. So I then started just taking them off into hexies the other night, and then it means I can take a hexie with me instead of having to take the quilt with me. So we're kind of getting there. These are some, I don't know why these were all falling everywhere. So my thinking was, one, to do better. It's always a goal. So I'm going to take it apart, as you know, and we're going to take all the wee threads out because I'm not being precious while I'm picking them. You can still see all the thread. Give them a good press. I'm just sitting like... Then re-put them together again into better hexagons. I just saw like this one's like squat because the seam allowance, like I was actually learning towards the end that I needed more seam allowance. My hexagon's not actually hexagon. It's like, what would that be? Like a rhombus? No, maybe. So better seam allowance, which means they're going to be smaller. I am going to, however, dye some fabric to then put in with this quilt so that it's not so, like, I could have dyed fabric and kind of put it on the edge, but I just felt that would make it really obvious that I've got this, like, I think if it had been straight lines, I could have put them in and it could have just been an extra border, but because the way the hexagons are joined, I just felt that it would look really weird in my brain. So I'm taking them apart, as I said, mostly to fix my initial mistakes and to make it bigger. So dyeing wise, I'm going to, do I have any pictures? I'm going to ice dye. I do have a dress that I did. And I did ice dye in at college. It gives this really cool, like, what's the word? It's, a lot of people use it for like geode dyeing, which is really cool. But it just gives a really cool, not marbled, I can't think of the word I'm thinking about, but like this really kind of fractal almost pattern. So I'm going to go for like blues and greens that are in here. I'll probably just end up using Dylon dye because this is, well, the fabric I'll be using is like cotton, and you can't use acid dye on cotton because it's a different fibre. Acid dye is for protein fibres. What's the other one? Oh god. Procyan dye is for protein fibres. So I'll be using, and Dylon is a Procyan dye. So I will be, see, the textile knowledge is in there. Just where is it hiding? So yeah, that's the dyes I'm going to use. You get the ones in the little sachets, so I just kind of go a bit ham and just like, but when we get to that stage I will film it so you see it. Don't worry, I will keep using the loop of the quilt saga. I still have the second quilt to do. We haven't even started the second quilt, so so yeah, make it bigger. Marvelous. I think I'll also dye the backing cloth similar so that they look like it was intentional, and in my brain that's the right thing to do. So just been enjoying picking about, taking these apart and making them into little piles. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing in my evenings at the minute. There was a day where I had to decant to the park with the dog because somebody was coming around the house and needed access to the entire house. So I went to the park with Oscar and realised I didn't have a portable project to take with me, which is not like me at all. So I did cast on, and we've been talking about this for a while, are you bored yet? I can't wait to get started. Well, I can't wait to get these projects out the road. I feel like I've been working on all these, like I was talking about all these projects like a year ago. Maybe it was episode 14, where I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this with this wool. And I've still not done it. So, but I did cast on my Lysning, by Skeindeer Knits. And by cast on, I mean, I don't think I finished casting on. It needs 374 stitches to cast on. And it was recommended a German twisted cast on, which I took a video. That's such a soothing cast on. I mean, it's a bit finicky, and I now do it through muscle memory, although I did need a reminder on what they were, but it just kind of came to me naturally now. So it was really nice to sit in the park, me and Oscar, and cast on. So yeah, I'm just stroking this yarn. It is so beautiful. The yarn, as I've spoken about before, is, you're not going to see it if I hold it like that, Whiistlebare, and it's their Yeavering bell in the 4-ply, and it's from the goaties I went and looked after. Well, the goats and the sheep. So it's 80% mohair and 20% Wensleydale. The mohair and the Wensleydale are both animals on the farm, and Alice gets it made up into yarn. And the colour is Hopeful Heart. It's not, do you know what? I have never had, and I've said this when I bought it, or when I came back from Alice's, I've never had such a hard time picking a yarn colour. All of Alice's colours were beautiful, and I was like, I don't know. So I thought the kind of rosy pink, the dusky pink, was just beautiful, and I think it'll look good on my skin tone. These are the normal colours I go for. Pink, I mean neon pink, yes. You can see neon pink behind me. But like a blush pink. Sorry, the mohair's got up my nose. Also, moving the furniture about has created a lot of dust because, you know, we don't want to talk about how gross it was behind the bookcases. So I'm just like generally susceptible to things just now. Yeah, so if you can splurge, do it. You need it in your life. It's so lovely, and I can't wait to have a shawl made from it. Did I say it was a Skeindeer Knits pattern? Unfortunately, it's not available off Ravelry. I should be one of those good vloggers and tell you what this is. This is one of my favourite shawls, and I stopped wearing it for a while, and I'm not really sure why, because I love it so much. But this is, I'm going to hold up first. Oops. So this is Double Denim by the Crochet Project, and the yarn, I believe, I can't remember the blends, but this one's Travel Knitter, the blue one is Travel Knitter, and the grey one is Old Maiden Aunt, and it's just such a nice shawl to like, again, just to wrap around and just keep your neck cozy and hide that your hair hasn't been styled at all. Yeah, so if you're looking for a nice shawl, Crochet Project, recommend. You know when you take your glasses off and put them back on and you realise how dirty they are? Just me. I used to always get in trouble when I was little for having dirty glasses. And then, so my dad used to work for Shell, and he got given those like wipes for your glasses, like you can buy them in Lidl nowadays, like they're pretty common, but back when I was younger they weren't. And I remember having them to clean my glasses because I was forever getting in trouble. So I was on the playground and I was horrifically bullied at primary school, and I opened it up and it was like that alcohol. So I opened it and was like, oh my god, that's stinking, and went to one of the other classmates, and going like, oh, I smell that, it's gross. I got in trouble for huffing these wipes at school, and I got into a lot of trouble because not only was I bullied by children, I was bullied by teachers as well. So yeah, good times. But I need some of those right now to clean my glasses because they're disgusting. I talked about this last time, but did I? I can't remember. Pom Pom Quarterly. Where is it? It's here. This issue of Pom Pom Quarterly. It is number... Good question. Oh my god, 40. This jumper. The Effervescent jumper. 1, that name. 2, the ruffle. Hello. This is a pattern by Aimee Sher. And so, the Effervescent jumper. I need one in my life. And while I was dyeing yarn, I thought my colourway, WWVGS, what would Van Gogh say, would be perfect. So I have here, making my face dark. It's not tidy because it was for me. And I've like thrown it about. So yeah, this is going to be my Effervescent jumper with the mohair. The colour on that is really subtle. But I think together it's the same colourway. Like you can see the pink's kind of hiding. Oh, go the wrong way. Pink's kind of hiding in there. So alongside my shawl and my blanket, I really want to cast this on. I'm going up to my parents on Monday evening, and I need a knitting project. Well, I'm starting to get cast-on-itis, and I just want to start all the things, and I'm like, I really want to make this. I should really... Right, so no judgment if I cast this on, okay? Please don't judge me. But yeah, if not, next podcast we'll be casting this on. I'm so hyped. I should say this is Rusty Ferret 7525 merino nylon, superwash merino nylon, and this, I'm gonna get this wrong because there's so many things in it. It's like 72% kid mohair. Wait, so, do you know what? This is the same. 72% brush super kid mohair, 28% mulberry silk. And you get 420 meters to 50 grams. I don't have any left. I have one of these, and that colour on the screen is terrible. This is Sandhaven Calling on mohair, and it's beautiful. And if nobody buys it, I'm going to turn it into James Watt's newest pattern. It takes like no yarn. It blows my mind. Yeah, this has been sitting on the shelf for 2021. Only nearly a year. But I want it, so maybe nobody buy it, okay? And it's not that colour in real life. I wish I knew how to photograph neon yarn. If anybody knows how, can you tell me? And I will swap for yarn, because I'd need to figure it out. So yeah, Effervescent. It's here. We're not judging if I cast it on. I will try my best not to. I will take my Lysning with me. And hopefully my quilt's unpicked by the time I go. Because if it's not, my mum will steal it. And she'll unpick it. And I'm like, can you stop stealing my projects, please? You've got plenty of your own to do. So in the last podcast, I kind of told you I was doing a collection from the vault. That went on sale last week. And thank you to everybody who ordered. You are amazing. But I have some of the yarn to show you now. So let me just show you what colorways I have left, and it means I can show you because I didn't plan it properly, and that's my bad to deprive you guys of yarn. So first up, this is WWVGS. I have a couple skeins of this left. I did have 2 kits for an Effervescent jumper, but they sold out really quickly, which I was shocked at. And we're gonna, me and Mia and Morag, we're all gonna be Effervescent twins, and I'm really excited. So yeah, but I still have some of this left. So I have 3 left. So you could always get that and then put your own mohair to it. I have a skein of Squamata. I'm gonna put proper pictures on the screen, because these are rubbish. The colour on this is terrible. but we have squamata. There's more than one skein. I've just got one here. Dundee, never change. Neptunian Dreams, one of my faves. This is Tropical Failings. It's got loads of bits of colour in it. That's how yarn dyeing works, bits of colour. No, there's like loads of yellows and blues and pinks kind of mixed in, which is beautiful. This is Nurple, like a purple Nurple. My friend William named this. He is a child, and so am I. This one didn't come out as the original recipe because it's a different green dye, but this is green over, game over. Funny story about that, game over. So my brother and I used to play Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 1. And it was the second Crash Bandicoot, Nitro Strikes Back or something. And at the end, like if you died enough times, Nitro, I'm sure it's Nitro, his face would come up on the screen and go, game over. But we used to go, green bogers. And it just reminded me of green bogers, so I called it game over, because that's how my brain works. We have pewter, nice and simple grey. Red X, kind of a rusty orange. And lastly, and one of my favourites, is Perth, P-R-T-H. It's this beautiful purple, blue, magenta, I don't know what that was, mixed together colour. And I dyed this for Perth Festival of Yarn, but I dyed it and named it after my brother-in-law, Martin, because he went to Perth College. Now, I say Perth, he says Perth. He doesn't say the E, and it's weird, and we rip him for it. So Perth, Martin, this one's for you, although he knows about it. So that's all the yarn I have. What's going on? So that's all the yarn I have from the update. So I would love if you went and checked it out on the website, www.rustyferretyarn.co.uk. And as I said, thank you to everybody who did shop the update. It kind of gave me a bit of an ego boost. I'm not wordless. But yeah, so thank you. So that's everything I have to kind of show you. I feel much better sitting over here. I still don't have my lighting particularly good, but never mind. So shall we do a catch up then? What's been happening? So I did say that my friend Morag was up helping me decorate the living room. She came and helped me because there's a lot of gloss in here. Lots of gloss. And also we needed to move furniture away from the walls, and Mark's chronic fatigue's been really bad, so she offered to come and help so that he didn't have to, basically. He was on tea duty and making lunch and things, so that was good. And it was good to hang out with Morag. And we just kind of laughed a lot and did silly dances. And she painted a smiley face on my arm, which I have managed to wash it off, but my glasses are still covered in paint. So Hannah wasn't feeling well, so she didn't come over because we didn't want her plague. So not COVID, but just we didn't want to get sick. Although I've been sneezing so much because we've been moving stuff about. All the dust just gets. I've always been like that. When I hoover, I sneeze like nobody's business. That's good hair. So that was Sunday. On the Saturday, my cousin and his wife, that sounds weird, and my younger cousin, one of my cousins, and his wife came through. They were up this way for a family event, and they were like, do you want to come get some lunch? And I was like, yeah, okay. So we went out for lunch, and we were going to go to the Batch. And when I tried to book it the night before, they didn't have any bookings till like 3. And I thought, we'll risk it for a biscuit. We'll go and, can't be that busy. It is that busy on a Saturday. And quite rightly, because the Batch is amazing. So if you ever went in Dundee looking for a good food spot, the Batch is across from the McManus Galleries, and it's spelled B-A-C-H. Wonderful. So we ended up we took the car over to the DCA, and had lunch there, and the DCA was good too, and it was much quieter, which was weird, but it got busy later. But we like, you know, when, how to put this in words that doesn't make me sound like an absolute asshole. You know, when you haven't seen people in ages, and like just people in general, and then you're like, oh my god, do I know how to socialize? And then you go out and you meet up, and I would say my cousin, well, this particular cousin and I have become closer in our older ages. We can relate more as adults. So we spent hours. It wasn't meant to be like a whole afternoon thing, because they had stuff to go and do. We ended up speaking for hours, and it was so good, and it was so nice, and I kind of needed it, which was really good. So, that was a good day. And then on the Friday, I'm working backwards, and we went to IKEA to get some bits, and on the way to IKEA, we did a massive detour to Garter Stitch Farm to drop off a printer at Cat's. It's like a 2-hour detour. But we did get to see the baby goats. I don't know if you follow Garter Stitch Farm on Instagram. If you don't, you should. She has 2 baby goats in the house just now because her mum goat is a first time mum and didn't know what the hell to do with 2 baby goats. So we got to see, and what was it? Betsy Rob, I can't remember the names of the goats, but I adore them. We didn't want to leave. We were like, we have to go IKEA, but can I just snuggle a baby goat all day, please? And the dogs and the cow. We didn't get to see the pigs. They were away pigging. So yeah, that was great. Oh, Oscar's at the door. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to. We are going out for on Saturday. We're going to Jessie's Kitchen to get a takeaway afternoon tea, and we have a gift voucher, so we're gonna go get an afternoon tea. So yeah, so I'm excited to go and have an afternoon tea with Mark. We're gonna go somewhere with the dog as well, obviously, and sit. My eyeballs itchy. I'm so professional. And sit and have our afternoon sandwiches and cakes and tea, and we're gonna be so fancy. So that's it. And then I'm going up the road to my mum's on Monday, and more help with my uncle's house is the plan. My dad's having to rewire everything. Yeah. Not good. We're not talking about it. So that is me. I have been having a horrific, what's the word? Cold symptoms. Really snuffy nose and stuff, really congested, but I think it is just the dust. I have done a PCR test early in the week, so just gonna wait and see what it comes back as. And to be honest, I spent most of this, see, I said that's everything and then I continue speaking. I've just spent most of this week not doing very much because I've not been feeling well. So yeah, I'm hoping that comes back negative. If I got COVID from IKEA, I'm going to be so annoyed. Oh. So I'm going to head now. I really hope you are all keeping well. And I hope that you are enjoying the spring weather that's starting here if you're in the UK. We had a really nice day today. And it was nice to just see some sunshine, really. I have run out of words, so I'm just going to say peace. Bye-bye now. Love you. Bye, Bexy. Bexy? Sexy Bexy. Bye, Bexington. Rebecca Bexley. I love you.